Do not measure your progress with someone else's ruler. For a long time, I measured my progress by looking at other people, where they were, what they had achieved, how quickly they seemed to be moving. And without even realizing it, I was using their path as the standard for my own. If they were ahead, I felt behind. If they were succeeding faster, I felt like I was falling short. If their life looked more put together, I questioned mine. And the more I did that, the more disconnected I became from my own journey. Comparison distorts reality. When you measure your life against someone else's, you are not seeing the full picture. You are seeing highlights, outcomes, moments that may not reflect the entire story. You are not seeing their challenges, their struggles, their timing. And yet, you are using that limited view as a benchmark for your own progress. That is not a fair comparison, and it is not an accurate one. I had to step back from it. There came a point where I realized that constantly comparing myself was not motivating me. It was discouraging me. It was making me feel like no matter what I did, it was not enough. And that feeling started to affect how I showed up. I hesitated more, questioned more, doubted more, not because I was not making progress, but because I was measuring it the wrong way. Your path is not meant to match theirs. This is something that took me time to understand. Your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Your timeline, your experiences, your goals, your challenges, they are all unique to you. And when you try to align them with someone else's, you lose sight of what actually matters: your growth. Progress is personal. What feels like a small step to someone else might be a major breakthrough for you. And what comes easily to someone else might take you more time. That does not make your progress less valuable. It makes it yours. And that is what matters. You are measuring the wrong things. When you compare yourself to others, you tend to focus on external markers, achievements, status, recognition. But real progress is often internal. It is the way you think, the way you respond, the way you show up. Those changes are not always visible, but they are significant. I started measuring differently. Instead of looking outward, I began to look inward. Am I showing up better than I was before? Am I making choices that align with who I want to be? Am I growing even if it is slow? Those questions changed everything because they brought the focus back to where it belongs, on me. Growth is not linear. Another thing that comparison hides is the reality of growth. It is not a straight line. There are steps forward and steps back. moments of clarity, and moments of confusion. And that is part of the process. When you expect your progress to look like someone else's, you overlook your own patterns and you miss the value in your own journey. You do not need to be ahead, you need to be aligned. The goal is not to be ahead of someone else. The goal is to be aligned with yourself, aligned with your values, your goals, your direction. Because when you are aligned, your progress makes sense for you, even if it does not match anyone else's. Stay focused on your own path. It is easy to get distracted by what others are doing, but every time you do, you pull yourself away from your own progress, your energy, your attention, your effort. They matter, and where you place them matters. Your journey is valid. You do not need to justify your pace. You do not need to prove your progress. You do not need to measure yourself against someone else's life. You just need to keep going, to keep growing, to keep showing up in a way that feels true to you. Because your journey is not meant to be compared. It is meant to be lived. Slay reflection. S. See the comparison. Where in your life are you comparing your progress to someone else's? L. Look at the impact. How does that comparison affect how you see yourself? A. Acknowledge your growth. What progress have you made that you may be overlooking? Why? Your next step. How can you refocus your attention on your own path today? Call to action. Join the conversation. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever realized that comparison was holding you back from seeing your own growth? Share your story in the comments. Let's cheer each other on. And if you know someone who might need this reminder, send this to them. Sometimes all we need is a nudge. I'm Carrie Genzel, reading a blog from stateofslay.com. Slay on.